Now the Oscar-nominated actress stars as former CIA agent Robin McCall in a TV reboot of CBS's show, The Equalizer. Robin McCall is a vigilante who fights for truth and justice for those in need. In this preview, she's talking to her former CIA handler, you know him too, that's Chris Noth, about what keeps her up at night.
You could come work for me.
Babysitting billionaires and oil companies.
Private security is just like working for the CIA, except it pays a lot better. Oh, hell, it's all the same chessboard, you know that.
I see, that's the problem right there. Everybody's playing chess. Nobody's thinking about the living, breathing pieces that we sacrifice along the way. You know, it's funny.
Queen Latifah, hi, is also an executive producer. Good morning to you, Dana. It's good to see you. May I just say this about the show? Already I'm going to go on a limb and say I've seen it. You got a hit on your hands. But I remember when you were a little girl and you were saying you chose the name Queen Latifah because it meant delicate, kind, sensitive one, all of the things you are. But this character, Robin McCall, is a badass. She kicks butt and takes numbers. So I'm also told that they wrote this with you in mind. So when they approached you, you thought, yeah, I want this job?
Yeah, Perlini Mbokwe actually brought this project to me at Universal Television, and she said, so we're thinking about you for The Equalizer. And I was like, yes.
Had you watched it? Were you familiar with it? Did you watch it? Had you seen the Denzel movie and seen the old CBS show?
Yes, I did. I used to watch the old CBS show, and I loved that show. And I thought to myself, like, the opportunity to be able to get to play action again and to do those fun things, the sort of, it came full circle. All the things that I've done in my career and in my life, and being raised by a tactical officer's kid, and a Vietnam vet and a school teacher, and so all these, like, the emotion of saving lives and getting justice has always been something big in my household. Yeah. And to be able to bring that to the screen, and to, especially at this time when we need it so much, I thought it was important.
Your dad, as you mentioned, your dad was a police officer in Newark for what, about 18 years, I think, right? Is this in any way kind of an homage to him?
Always an homage to him. Always an homage to him, because, he put his life on the line. He did it every day, and he's been along. He's helped me through my whole career. He's gone with me everywhere I've gone. All my movies, all my movie sets, and just been there to support me and to help me out and to make sure everything was safe and I was safe. And so, we just, this is a big one.
Queen, this is Tony Dokoupil here. The show is fiction, and exciting fiction at that, but it's also dealing with real-world facts of racial inequality. How do you balance that jump from entertainment to taking on real issues?
I think the goal was to take on real issues, to kind of take things that are ripped from the headlines and to, to inject them into the show. And we didn't know when we started this back in, late last year, that our world would turn upside down, that things that we needed to face and confront would be brought to the forefront in such a horrific and acute way. But it's time, it's time. A lot of people want justice. They want to see it exacted. They feel like meaningless. They feel like everything they've done is, like, not worth it. And we want to give some hope. And at the same time, we want to, let the good guys win for a change. Let the little guy win for a change, or the little girl in our opening episode's case. But to see someone with Robin McCall's expertise use that for the everyday person, not just for people with money and power, is really what we about. Black women have been equalizing for years. From you, Gayle, to Stacey Abrams, to your best friend Oprah. We have been doing this for years and years and years. Our mothers, our grandmothers have been fighting uphill battles, and even in this pandemic and economic downturn, we've borne the brunt of this economic and physical disparity, and we're going to have to pull it up again.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
But I'm so glad to see you, though, as a lead. You know,
We're gonna do it.
Yeah, a female lead, black female lead in the show. So I'm very excited and very proud about that. I'm curious, when you talk about justice, there's a big story bubbling up today in the country music world about Morgan Wallen, who was caught on tape using the N-word, and now there's word that his career may be over. What does he need to do? How can he rehabilitate? You know, there are mixed voices coming in on this. Do you think his career should be over? Is there a chance for redemption and second chances here? What did you think when you heard about this story?
I barely caught a whiff of this last night because,
Yeah.
as you can see, I got this big, huge set behind me, and I was
gotcha.
on this thing
Gotcha.
early to late. So I don't have a lot of time to catch.
All right, that's fine. Yeah, you don't want to comment if you're not familiar, so I get that. But let's talk about
I
this.
do want to say it's redemption for, as a child of Christ, I think it's redemption for everyone, but I think you got to seek it and want it. And, we've seen the best and worst come out of people over the last year. And it's time for people to seek the best in themselves and find their northern compass again. They've lost their moral compass.
Yes.
And it's time for them to figure out which way is north, which way is south, east, and west, because everybody's doing this.
Yeah.
And people need to figure it out.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You're so right. I liked it when you said you got to seek it, you got to want it, you got to seek it. That's so well said. And a special plug for Living Single. You remember that show, Living Single?
Do I remember that
Thank
show?
you for
Remember that
asking.
show?
Thank you for asking about Living Single.
So Shauna Thomas is our big cheese boss over here. She said she wouldn't mind if you brought it back. So I'm just passing that along. Do with that what you
Listen.
will.
I'll take that. We've tried. We're working on it. And actually, I don't even think I would have got this job if Perlina wasn't such a big Living Single fan. So I'll take that.
All right. You got a lot of support cheering you on always, Queen Latifah. The show is called The Equalizer, premieres this Sunday. Hey, good positioning right after the Super Bowl right here on CBS.